One of the lesser known dragons comes from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. It is the Amethyst Dragon. The Amethyst Dragon is pretty interesting. It's psionic, so it can make itself kind of fly without using its wings, so you can't really knock it down because it floats. But along with psionics, it has another cool ability to create a spatial projection to be in 2 different places at once. I thought this was a really interesting flavor concept, and I wanted to build something out of it. That's what this build is going to be about. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the Wolves of Langston for sponsoring this video. The Wolves of Langston is a fun solo campaign, and if you guys have never played a solo campaign, I highly recommend it. This was the first solo campaign I've ever played, and it was a ton of fun. What's really cool about it is you build a 1st or 2nd level character as if you were building any D&D 1st or 2nd level character, and then you get to go on an adventure. And the adventure is a lot of fun. It's a murder mystery, you get to find evidence, you get to do interrogations, get into some combats along the way, and you have a bunch of twists and turns along the way with some great storytelling, and it really puts you there. You can pick it up using our link in the description down below. Should be a ton of fun. So with this idea of the Amethyst Dragon being the core of the build, I'm definitely going to go the Amethyst Dragonborn. As a gem Dragonborn, it has the ability to speak to people telepathically if they're within 30 feet of themselves, and at 5th level, they're going to be able to fly. They're also going to have resistance to force damage and get a force dragon breath. So there's a lot we can do with that. Now, the second thing I wanted to do was, as this Amethyst lookalike, I wanted to become an Echo Knight. 3 levels into fighter, and we get Echo Knight, and that's where we're going to start. We're also going to get heavy armor, so our stats are going to be strength and constitution and charisma focused. And this build really opened up an opportunity to be more of a spell casting Echo Knight. It's not something I haven't really played around with, but Echo Knight is so powerful and it has so many advantages, but to be more of a spellcaster and focus less on attacks and whatnot, I thought was a really cool opportunity. And that really opens up once we hit 4th level. And instead of taking a 4th level into fighter, we're gonna go jump into the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. Aberrant Mind is really great for allowing us to focus in on psionics, and the Amethyst Dragon is totally a psionics based character. And so this is going to allow us to do interesting combinations, and that really begins with Dissonant Whispers at level 1. When we cast Dissonant Whispers on an enemy, they have to use their reaction to run away from us. And what's interesting is that procs opportunity attacks. So if we have an Echo next to an enemy and cast Dissonant Whispers on them, our Echo is going to get an opportunity attack. So it increases the range in which we can do this opportunity attack plus Dissonant Whispers combo. And I really like that. I think Dissonant Whispers is going to be my spammable 1st level spell with this build. Another interesting idea is that we also get Action Surge, which is fantastic for spellcasters because then we can do 2 spells in a single turn, which most people cannot. Now we can do something like Mind Sliver into Dissonant Whispers using Action Surge, and that really sets us up to lower their resistance, then they get pushed away, then they get opportunity attacked. So they get hit with 3 different sources of damage, and some of those sources of damage synergize with each other. Some other ideas include quickening Mind Sliver into Dissonant Whispers, or we can simply twin Dissonant Whispers to get double the effect. Now for a while I'm just going to be leveling up the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and this is going to do a couple different things for us. We get our expanded spell list, and with that expanded spell list I'm going to make a couple different changes. For our 2nd level spells, I'm going to remove Calm Emotions and add in Tasha's Mind Whip. Tasha's Mind Whip is a fantastic spell, and when combined with our twin spell, we can hit 2 different people with it, and it's really great debuff, and it fits our psionic flavor. Another cool idea is Hold Person, because we can hold somebody, and then we can Action Surge, get our attack off with our greatsword, hit the enemy, get a crit with it, and we can do it from range. So that's some cool synergy there too. The 3rd level change I'm going to make is removing Sending for enemies Abound, and that's because once we hit 6th level in Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, all the spells we cast from this spell list we get to use our sorcery points for, and they automatically get subtle casting. Subtle casting enemies Abound is simply hilarious and just a really fun option for us to have. I want to talk about what an Echo Knight really does for a caster. First, we're a fighter, so our defense is just way higher than a sorcerer's normally is, but on top of that, we also get incredible mobility. We really can't be pinned down. We can always take high ground. We can do so many different things with this teleporting Echo to really put us where we need to be. We may not be able to cast spells through it, but we can still attack through it, and if we treat our attack like a cantrip, that's our damaging cantrip, is that attack. We can do a lot with the Echo Knight, even though we're not focused on attacks. Although eventually, probably once we hit 6th level in Aberrant Mind, we'll want to go back into fighter 2 levels, maybe 3, to get both those ASIs as well as our extra attack to make our cantrip better. Another cool synergy, now this may be up to interpretation, but I believe that as a Dragonborn Echo Knight, we can actually use our breath weapon attack because it replaces an attack from our Echo Knight's position, which opens up the amount of locations we can do it from. So we kind of get this AoE blast, and we can position our Echo super aggressively. So normally we wouldn't want to put ourselves in that position, and the Echo can go do that just fine. So what we end up being is this extremely mobile, extremely tanky tanky sorcerer who has a lot of great options for single targets, and then of course once we hit 3rd level spells, we can take any of the broken 3rd level spells for crowds. So our optionality is crazy. And we can choose to lean more into the fighter side or more into the psionic side, but I think because the psionic side is more unique, that's what I would personally do, and take the extra attack later down in my career. Combine this with teleporting mobility and the ability to fly. Our mobility is fantastic, our defenses are fantastic, our offense is fantastic. It's a really cool, well-rounded build with a unique playstyle. Combine that with the fact that it comes from the source flavor and we actually have built-in flavor. I think that's really awesome, and the gem on top is I just love the synergy between Dissonant Whispers and our Echo. I just think that's a lot of fun to really bring these two builds together and make it into one solid build. But what I'd love to hear from you guys is how would you build a character based off the flavor of a dragon? Which dragon would it be? What flavor would you do? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that, my friends, I hope you have yourselves an incredible day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you then.